We talked about interpreting the Quran and the role of the Imam in explaining the Quran to Izmirids. Who authorized the Imam to interpret the Quran?
It is an impossible task to fulfill. Nobody has been given the authority to do this, although a family elder, of course, can help a younger person to understand the Quran better. One can have group discussions.
The Prophet was instructed by Allah simply to deliver the message. Nothing more, nothing less. Allah also says this Quran is easy to understand and nothing is to be added or taken away from this final revelation.
If one starts interpreting the Quran to justify acceptance of modern Western lifestyles, at some point in time, nothing will be left of the original authentic Quran. As it is beginning to look as though most of the restrictions in the Quran seem to have been abrogated by the Ismaili Imams and consequently not adhered to by Ismailis.
I can see where you're coming from, Mom, and what you're saying does make sense.
Let me tell you something I have figured out. We did discuss last time that I could not find any interpretation by the Imam of any verse of the Quran.
Have you changed your mind?
Not exactly. The 49th Imam may have interpreted some of the Quran without actually declaring that he has done so. It is likely he didn't realize it himself.
How could he have done that?
Unknowingly, actually. We know there are prohibitions in the Quran.
Yes, alcohol, gambling, and interest, to name a few. Are you saying these prohibitions have been abrogated?
No, these prohibitions have definitely not been abrogated. Nobody has the authority to abrogate these prohibitions. Although we know the 23rd Imam, who was not an Imam, but an impostor according to many historians, did abrogate all the restrictions.
So,
the 49th Imam had set up various businesses which for a Muslim to be owning would be considered haram. The Imam was involved in banking and therefore interest earnings, selling alcohol, involved in meat processing which included selling pork and other similar products. Then there is the horse breeding and horse racing activity. These activities and other businesses have now been passed on to his successor, the 50th Imam.
I am finding this very upsetting and distasteful, to be honest. To think nobody is questioning the Imam.
Let me tell you something even more distasteful. The first Aga Khan was described as a giver and taker of odds at the Bombay racetrack by a British official during the 1850s. My understanding of a giver and taker of odds at a racetrack is a bookie, not a respectable badge to wear for a Muslim spiritual leader.
All these activities are haram. How can a Muslim spiritual leader indulge in these activities?
You are right. These are haram activities, but reading between the lines, it would seem that the Imam has interpreted the relevant verses of the Quran to allow and justify these activities, but has chosen not to announce it, perhaps fearing retribution from other Muslim communities.
Just because the Imam has deemed these activities to be halal does not make them halal. Ismailis in Europe and North America are heavily involved in most of these activities, including owning gambling casinos.
I know they are, and they very likely have taken the lead from their Imam. If the Imam, a so-called Muslim spiritual leader, can do it, then so can I. The Imam's haram business activities serve as implied approval for his followers.
I have a million questions swirling around my head. Can we continue with this later?
Sure we can.